There you go.
Okay, yay. Welcome everybody to our Monday night call. Each Monday this month, we have had a very special jewel guest on to share their story because we really want you all to just have the vision cast for you of becoming a jewel one day, because so much of your journey has to do with your vision and knowing your vision and having a vision, because we all are going to come across roadblocks and those hurdles. And without a vision, the people perish is what the Bible tells us. And so it's so, so important. And so this Monday night, our very special guest is our very own Diamond Upline, Jennifer Leath. You all know her and love her. And if you haven't met her yet, you're missing out and you need to meet her ASAP. So come to the next event. Her story is one of my absolute favorites. And as I have, when I joined, hitting silver, gold, especially silver and gold, her story is one of the ones that really encouraged me to keep going, and made me believe that if she could do it, I could do it. And so I cannot wait for you to hear from her tonight. She's going to share like why she started Plexus, what got her into this business, kind of share her struggles of like what encouraged her to do this business. And then she's going to share her top tips with us on becoming a jewel. So Jennifer, go ahead.
Thank you for asking me to do this. And you guys just went through like one of my biggest stress causers. It's Zoom. Whenever I'm doing a Zoom, I'm like, I hope I record it right. I get so anxious. So good on you. Joanna asked me to share my story. And it's funny because how many of you guys have had to share your testimony before? And finally you get to the point where you think, nobody else wants to hear this. And then you remember, like, we have to be telling these stories regularly, not just for other people, but for ourselves, to remind ourselves how far we've come, what God has done. It allows us to really, I think, sit in gratitude. So this will be fun. I actually started Plexus as a customer and I returned the products. Suzanne and I had met on a mission trip with Youth with a Mission, and we met for 2 weeks. We were in Mexico. She remembers nothing of this trip. I tell her about it. She's like, I don't remember ever going on a trip. I don't even think I've been to Mexico. I'm like, no, for sure. We met in Mexico. Like this happened. So anyhow, we met and there wasn't Facebook. It was like, we just didn't keep up with each other. I lost her phone number. Well, then once Facebook came around, I remember thinking of her and I looked her up. And when I found her, within a week's time, she had posted something about not taking naps every day and not drinking Diet Coke anymore. And that was it. She didn't say what she was doing. There wasn't even a picture. And so I just asked her, what are you doing? And now I know how this works. But at the time, I didn't know how this worked. And so she sent me this link to this website. And when I looked at it, my heart sank because it made me just so it felt like another thing that I couldn't afford that somehow everyone else got to do. Like I just looked at it and was like, how in the world would I ever afford? No, I'll just be drinking Diet Coke forever and taking naps forever because I'm never going to be able to buy those products. And the more she posted about it and the more that she shared about her business success, the more irritated I became. Like I wasn't happy for her. I was envious. It was all unhealthy. So then I blocked her. I blocked her on Facebook. And then I had to log into my husband's account just so I could go and look at what she was posting because I still wanted to see it, right? Well, this is what God does, right? Because I knew there was something to this and it wouldn't stop pestering me. I just kept thinking about it and thinking about it. And so finally, I ordered a bag of just the slim. Okay, just the slim. And then I got like buyer's remorse and I immediately returned it. I was like, this was way too much money. Like I should not have spent that. We don't have that money. So I just immediately returned it. But yet it was still on my mind. And so a couple months go by and Suzanne tells me this weekend only, we're doing a special where it was $34.95 at the time. Your $34.95 is covered. And I was like, okay, just this weekend only. I really need to think about this. And I'm asking my husband, and how can we make this work? And so I just decided to do it. My mother-in-law gave us money for our anniversary. I bought my welcome pack and it wasn't triplex. It was slim. And we had a product called Accelerator. And so that arrived with this really funny Rolodex. It was like, it looked like a desk calendar. And it had all this information about how to run a business with like this big magnet that you were supposed to put on your refrigerator. I dumped all of that in the trash. I was like, why would I even need that? I just wanted the products. So right away, Suzanne said, I know you told me that money's tight, so let's go ahead and think about 3 people. That's going to make you have to recoup that money you spent. She didn't really ask me. She just kind of told me that I needed to be thinking about it. She's like, what would your mom say if you asked her? And I was like, well, I know she would say yes. She goes, well, would your sister do it? And I'm like, yeah, but that's going to be really special, having my sister use the products with me. But once I did those 2, how could I not get a third? Like, it kind of felt like that would be silly not to get the third. And then something weird happened. I got the certificate, the silver certificate in the mail. And I don't know, it was like something just kind of switched in me. What came as just, I wanted to cover the cost of the products became, I feel important. Like, this made me feel really important, and it made me feel really special. And then it made me think, I think I could do this and I enjoy it and I want to keep doing it. And so I just started telling all of my friends about this pink drink. I literally would just like give them each a stick of Slim. And I was like, and this wasn't free for me, so you better drink this. I was like, I'm giving you something I paid for. And they all tried it. And I didn't even really understand what it could do, but I also wanted them to try it with me. And so over time, I started making $300, I think was that first check, and then $500 the next month. And I decided that I was going to buy professional clothes and start doing like events. So LuLaRoe was like a brand new thing at the time. So I bought a LuLaRoe skirt, and I was in a little Plexus t-shirt, and I tucked it into my skirt, and I was going to do like in-home sip and sees. And you're wondering maybe like, why did I get the gumption to do that? Or why did I feel brave enough to do it? It's because I have been in the shower, shampoo, having a great time, water turns off. At first I'm like, oh, it's broken. And then I'm like, oh, wait, we probably didn't pay the bill because we have to choose. Like, do we pay electric or do we pay water? And we kind of flip back and forth. And then I realized, how am I going to get this soap out of my hair? So I walk outside, I got dressed. I walk outside and I use my neighbor's water hose to rinse my hair out. I'm in the backyard and I'm thinking to myself, you have a daggone college degree. Why are you in your neighbor's backyard rinsing your hair out with her water hose? And so we had times where my mother-in-law came over to spend some time with us, and someone came to the door and put orange duct tape with this sign that said, your water will be turned off. And it like told the date and the time because we hadn't been able to pay our bill. It was just all of these moments of being mortified and embarrassed and being reminded that we weren't adulting very well. I wanted to homeschool, and it just meant we weren't going to make very much money. And so that's why I said, I'm going to treat this like a business. I took money we didn't have and I bought a stack of catalogs. At the time, you could order catalogs and they would come. I think it was, I'm going to guess and say it was 20. I don't know how many, and then I took a baggie and I put all the products that I did have. And if they were empty, I saved the bottles for them. And on my very first sip and see, I got a stomach virus, but I was not going to cancel because I knew there were going to be a lot of people there. So I go to this sip and see. I'm like, sweating. I feel really terrible. And I'm like, it's the best you're ever going to feel. And I'm thinking, I am sick. Like, I should not have been there, but I was that committed. And every guest that was there signed up. And then I just kept doing in-home events. And I couldn't stop myself because I knew that I had finally found the thing I had Googled a million times, how to make money from home without leaving your children. This is what I can do. And so I started making great money. And then finally I challenged my husband. I said, look, I think I was maybe senior Ruby at the time. And we had just earned leaders retreat and it was just amazing. I said, look, if I can get to Sapphire, will you come home from work? And he said, yes, because he didn't think I could do it. And I did do it. And then I said, remember that time when I said, if I hit Sapphire, will you come home from work? He's like, yeah. He was scared, so scared. So he came home from work and then we just went full throttle to try to get to Diamond. And we did. And so one of the things that's really important to me is I keep in my wallet. I wish I had it right here next to me. I keep in my wallet still my food stamp card. I keep it in there because then when I go to pay for something, it's just gratitude. I just look at it and I'm like, thank you, God, for the provision of the opportunity. And I want to caution you that to not think this is like one of those get rich quick schemes, because sometimes people look at this industry and the way that we talk, and it makes it sound like one day I just woke up and it happened. And that's not true. You know, it's not true. You know, you have skin knees from this. You know that there's times you've been embarrassed, and there's times you cry, and there's times you've doubted. It's not an easy thing to do, but there's very few opportunities on the planet that allow you to make this type of income for this type of effort. You just have to have a strength of spirit. So I'm going to tell you 3 tips that I have for you. And the very first one is, don't quit on a bad day. Don't quit on a bad day. You guys ever felt that way? This happens to me all the time. I'm like, I cannot with these children. Like, just one bad day, I'm like, I cannot with these children. Like, what were we thinking? Or they can probably hear me, but they know I'm kidding. Even with your husband, you're like, seriously, this man. And then think about this with your business. It's like, I literally cannot with this virtual office, or I literally cannot with these people that are like, didn't do anything. Like, you'll have this really bad day and you're like, I don't want to do this. This isn't fun. I actually hate it. I think I actually hate it. That's called a bad day. And when you quit and walk away from it, here's what happens. Number 1, you break your promise. You break your promise to the people, and you break your promise to yourself. Number 2, you actually walk away from a seed that was planted in you, not by yourself, because I'm going to assume that what you're doing, you believe you're meant to do. So walking away from that on a bad day is a bad choice. So that's something I have had to learn. There have been days where I'm like, this is so hard. Like, I really just kind of want to go and sit with my kids and not do this. And that's when I have that flag for me where I go, okay, I need to take a break. And then I come back and I'm like, I love this. It's my favorite thing ever. All right. The second tip I'm going to give you is, this is like a no excuse thing. Do not neglect order. Do not neglect order. When I bought that skirt and that plexus shirt, I was creating order for my business. I was treating it professionally. If you do not have a planner, if you do not have a space that you call your own to do your work in, yes, I love the fact that we can do this with the messy bun and yoga pants, but you need to talk to yourself and treat yourself as a business professional. You need to actually create order for yourself. If that means getting business cards, if that means, I put a picture of myself with like a little quote on the ending of all of my Gmail, every email that goes out, it makes me look like I'm like really a business professional. When we do this, it's our way of saying this isn't a hobby. When everyone else says it's a hobby, or you know how these things go, or they never last, you are telling yourself, no, I'm a business professional. And so that's what I'm going to encourage you to do. Create order. And then the last thing I wrote down is, everything that you do, whether you go to Super Saturday, you watch a video, you go out for a coffee date with some sidelines, whatever it is that you do, sign up for coaching. The goal of every bit of network marketing is to bring someone along. It's never just for you to do it. It's always to get someone else to do it with you. And these are opportunities for them to grow in their belief, for them to grow in their abilities. So everything you do, don't do it alone. Always make it a goal to bring someone with you. When I went to my first convention, first of all, I really couldn't afford it. That's just the truth of the matter. And I was a nursing mom who forgot her breast pump, but somehow I brought 4 people with me. It was 2 of my diamonds now and 2 people that are still just product users. I brought 4 people to convention with me. And it was just, I couldn't even believe that I was able to tell people to come do this, and they did. But I knew the idea is to bring people with me. And then I knew the next year to bring more. So whatever it is you do for your business, for personal growth and development, don't do it alone. Invite someone with you. That's all I got.
Oh my goodness. I love your story so much. And that video you made in the airport after convention when you were your senior gold, or almost senior gold.
Senior gold.
You made it on your team page and you're in the airport. That is like one of the first videos I watched as a new person. And it's like, to this day, one of my favorites. So if you haven't seen that, it's in Jen's team page. It's so good about just like sharing the vision and belief of this company and where she was headed. And like, she talked like a diamond and she was gold or whatever, gold, senior gold. And so, oh my goodness, thank you so much, Jen, for helping on. She has to hop off in just a sec, but does anyone have any questions really quick for her?
Yeah, I've got about 5 minutes. So we're good. By the way, that video, you know who made me do that?
Who?
Laura.
Oh, did she?
We were in the airport and she's like, you're going to go live. We're all making videos. And I was thinking, oh, like, I don't want to do that. And so that was the whole, to me, recruiting someone better than you, like getting people that are better than you. And I learned so much about just going ahead and going for it and creating content from them. So I hope you guys all get someone that's better than you. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. All right, you guys, any questions?
What's the video called? Do you know what it's titled if we go look for it?
I will just,
go ahead.
I was going to say, I'll just bump it.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, I have my hair all messy in a bun and I'm crying in an airport with a really weird magenta backdrop.
Okay.
It's weird. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you guys, any other questions? I mean, if that didn't build your belief, like that, it just, I always, anytime I hear Jen speak, I'm just like, okay, I can do this. Like, my dreams are possible. I'm going to go do this. It always lights a fire under me. So
thanks for saying that.
I'll ask one more question.
Yeah.
I know there's several of us who homeschool, and I know I've asked you before, but curious, what would be like one tip that you have for other homeschool moms who are trying to fit this in and homeschool and do all the things?
Well, one of the things that I have to say to myself every single day is what is my first calling? What's my most important ministry? And I have to tell myself that, and I have to hide my phone from myself. So I put my phone in a drawer and I'm like, don't look at it. And that's the time that I spend with the kids. And then they know that when that's done, I have to have time for the business. Now, in the very beginning, what I found out is curriculum matters. So if anybody's into homeschooling, curriculum matters. I can't have something that they need me every single page. I have to have something that's doing a lot of the work for me, and I'm there just to facilitate it if I want to be committed to my business. Now, the place I'm at now, I have stuff that's a little bit more like we can sit and talk and do all of that. So that would help people, just that tip alone. Curriculum matters.
All right, you guys, just hop off in 1 minute. Any other questions?
I have a question. When you talked about you sending your emails, do you use that as a follow-up or a way to reach out or what?
So when I was first, I should send this to Joanna and you could send it to all of them. When we first did this, we would use, basically you'd send a welcome email to someone that first joined, and it had about 4,000 attachments to it. Like, just the craziest thing. And it worked. Anytime someone's like, oh, our branding or, oh, our welcome emails, I'm like, no, there's no excuse. Like, we've done this with the ugliest bottles ever. And we've done this with the most ridiculous, onboarding system. You can do it. But the email was just for me to say, I'm so excited you're trying the products. Please look at these 4,000 attachments. And I just added that little special professional in I don't know what you call it, like your tagline or whatever that is. I put a picture of me and a quote, happiness is a choice is what it said.
Oh, I love it so much. It's true. There is literally no excuse. Success is up to every single person individually. Okay. Thank you, Jen. I know you have to go to another call. Thank you for hopping on.
Thanks for asking me. All right. We'll see each other soon.
Okay. Bye. Oh my goodness, you guys. Isn't she just the best? I just adore her. She is hilarious. I laugh every time I talk to her. So I just wanted to go over a few things with the team schedule and all that, and I'll let you all go. The book study, you guys, I'm the worst leader. I don't know what to tell you, but my book didn't come in still. And I'm leading a book study and I don't have the book. So forgive me. It should be in this week. I don't know what is up with the mail service, but we're going to go ahead and start that on next week. I promise. I don't promise. I promise we're going to start it. Hopefully it's going to be next week. I can't control the mail, but right after this call at 5:30, the call that Jen is hopping off to go lead, it's a gut health training call. It looks amazing. I'll drop the graphic in our team Diamond Bound. So if you were planning to be on the book study and you have some extra time, go hop on that because it's going to be some awesome information. And I'm really excited to listen in on that. Okay, so team calendar really quickly, and then also wanted to leave you with just a word of encouragement as we are getting kind of close to the, end of the month. Well, I guess we have 2 more weeks. Oh, we have 2 weeks. We're only halfway. What am I saying? Okay, so we have starting next Monday, we're going to have until the end of the month, we have power hours lined up for you all with Jules. I'm really excited about this. So we are linking arms with Emily and Jordan and their Jules, and all of us are going to have like at least 1 power hour scheduled every day with the Jewel to help everyone end their last week, like magic week, end it really strong. So that's going to start on Monday. Be on lookout for a graphic. It will have all of the times. It's not like a set time. It'll be just a certain time every day that the Jewel chose. But we will give you advance notice. So hopefully you can at least maybe hop on a few of those. We also have our biz event coming up. I have to go check the calendar again. I don't know why I didn't do that before this, but it's coming up. I want to say it's Thursday, but I'll drop it again in the team chat. But just a reminder that that's coming up. That's a great thing to invite people to if they're wanting to learn more about the business. And then of course the book study. So you can still order the book. Maybe it'll come faster for you than it did for me. And then I just wanted to kind of go through it really quick. We have about 8 minutes left. And it's Monday, which I love doing this personally on a Sunday because I feel like to really set my week up for success. But I really encourage you to do this 1 day a week, whatever day works for you, but prep for your week. And so sit down, even just 30 minutes, you can get a ton of prep work done in 30 minutes. I like to do this on Sunday afternoons. I like to get a coffee and prep for my week, or make yourself a cup of tea, like make it kind of fun, like cozy, like do something to where like you enjoy it, and prep for your week. And what I mean by that is like, look at your calendar, know exactly like what's going on in your family life, everything, like your husband's schedule, and your business. And then also I think it's so important to prep for your work time because, and writing in. So part of that prep is going to be scheduling in your work hours. So maybe that's like 30 minutes before your kids get up, 30 minutes during lunchtime, 30 minutes after they go to bed, whatever, schedule in your work hours and then commit to those. Because that's really going to help you to be more intentional with the time that you do have to spend with your business. And then what goes along with doing that is having your list ready of people that you're going to reach out to, people that you're going to follow up with, people that you're going to check in with. And I understand like things pop up sometimes like day to day, like someone might reach out to you, or maybe someone you think of during the week, like, oh, I need to check in on this person or whatever. But for the most part, try to have a list ready to go, because then when you do, I know like I think every person on here is a mom. Just double checking. Yeah, we're all moms. Okay, almost all of us are moms. But if we're not a mom, we're still busy. Like life is busy. We have a lot going on. And when you sit down to work, say you have like 30 minutes to work your business. It's a chunk that you scheduled in, you're committing to it. If you're not prepared and prepped, then you can spend like 15 of those minutes getting ready to work. And so then you just wasted 15 minutes when you could have had like your list ready to go. Okay, I'm reaching out to these people. I'm following up with this person. I want to make a post about the business. I'm going to go post business stories. I'm going to watch this training later on today when I'm in the car, or whatever. And then you're going to get so much more work done, and you're going to end the day feeling really just satisfied and proud of yourself that you got like something done that's going to move the needle forward in your business. Also, something that I just started doing and I'm really excited about is creating a thought for the week. And that can be, and of course you can create more than one thought, but kind of like an overall thought of your week based on like your current situation in life. So I'll give you an example. So for me, this whole like being scheduled and like writing things out, like I don't love it. I feel like a little suffocated, like, well, like I kind of like just to do what I want when I want and whatever. I don't like people telling me what to do. So having like a schedule is basically like someone telling me what to do, I think. I don't know. So I made a thought around it for this week, because as I was writing out, so I have like it's like a daily planner thing that's like what I'm doing at each like hour of the day, whatever. And obviously it's mom life, so it doesn't go like perfectly how I write it down, but I aim for that. And so that was the thought in my head, like, or like the feelings. I was feeling kind of like overwhelmed, like kind of a little anxious, like, oh my goodness, like I have all this to do. And like, but then scheduling it, I'm like, I'd kind of rather just like go with the flow. And so my thought, and so I can give you an example of what I'm even talking about, because our thoughts, this goes back to the first week of the month, or the first Monday, when I was talking about like taking every thought captive. Like we can choose our thoughts. It takes practice. It takes being intentional. It takes even recognizing that like you're thinking thoughts that are not going to be getting you to where you want to be overall, and stopping and taking time to practice. It's a skill. It's like anything else, it's a skill. You practice it and you're going to get better at it. And so for me, I was recognizing that I was feeling that way. And so my thought that I made for this was, what if having a schedule and being disciplined led to more freedom and more flexibility, to dreams coming true? And that was like my thought, or it is my thought for this week. And so it's written down on my daily planner. I'm gonna read it off once more. What if having a schedule and being disciplined led to more freedom and more flexibility, and to dreams coming true? And so, because that's what I want, right? Because that's what I feel like a lot of us probably want, is more freedom with our finances or whatever, that we're working towards those dreams coming true. The more your business grows and the more you have, like the bigger your paycheck gets and the more options you have and stuff, you do have more flexibility with certain things. And so that is my thought for this week. So I encourage you all tonight, just go and create a thought for yourself based off of where you're at. Another example, my husband went for a guy's trip. He left on Saturday, and of all the times, I don't know why this happened, but it's like the most craziest time, I feel like, of the whole entire month. And revival started at church. We have like, Juliana had this fall festival yesterday at church, or at her school, I mean, and it was like, I was volunteering for all these booths. And then I was like, why did I volunteer for all these booths? It's too late. And like all these things going on. We're supposed to have a yard sale. I don't know why I promised her we'd have a yard sale. So now I'm cleaning up the storage shed, and it's like super busy. I'm like, and he's gone. So it's just like me, and I have to like do the school drop off and pick up and all the things and run my business. And so I thought, so that right there, like, that's just making me feel like anxious and like exhausted already, just talking about it. A thought to create around that would be like, I have the time that I need to get the most important things done. And just practice that instead of like, I don't have much time, like, oh my goodness, how am I going to do this? Like, I'm stressed, whatever. So I have enough time to do the things that matter the most. And so just because it's true, we do, like, we have enough time to do the things that matter the most. It's not going to be the end of the world if my house isn't spotless every night when I go to bed or whatever, like no one's going to die. And that is going to give me more peace as I'm going about my day, and like, okay, yeah, I have time. Like, and I know I'm prepped. Like, I wrote down my like thing for the week or the day, like what I'm doing. I have my priorities written down, like top priority. Like, if I get these done today, then it's going to be a good day. So I have those written down and focusing on doing those things first. And so at the end of the day, it's all going to work out. And instead of being like stressed and frustrated and annoyed and resentful because he's away on a trip and I'm here with all two kids, I'm not going to be. It's all going to be okay. It creates more peace. And that's what I want to. So does anyone have any questions around that? Like creating a thought? I know it's kind of like newer to me, but it's like makes me so excited because it's biblical. And that's what makes me excited, because you can go back and you can look at scripture and different scriptures that back it up. And so that's why it excites me, because I know that there's truth to it. Another thing with creating a thought, it has to be like, it's different than affirmations. As far as affirmations is more of like, I'm a successful businesswoman at the top rank of the company. That's kind of like affirmation, which I'm not against affirmations, but the difference is a thought is something that you have to believe in. Like, you can't just tell yourself a thought that like, is like completely not true. Like my schedule runs perfectly every day. I mean, I don't know if anyone's does, maybe yours does, but I don't think anyone's schedule runs perfectly. And so that, if I was telling myself that, like, I'd be like, whatever, that's not going to happen. Like, it's mom life. Like, I couldn't predict it. My son was going to be up half the night and now he's sick and whatever. And that threw everything off. And so I wouldn't believe it, but I do know we have enough time in the day because God allotted us this time, and he runs the day, and he gave us a specific amount of time. So I know we have enough time in the day to do what matters most. I know I'm capable. I know I can do all things through him. And so for me to say, like, I have enough time to do what matters most, like, I can believe that instead of just like saying something that I don't believe. Hope that makes sense. But I would love to hear your thoughts for the week. Once you write yours out, if you want to share in the Diamond Bound page or the team chat, that would be awesome. Any questions about that at all before we close out for the night?
Hey, Joanna.
Yeah.
I don't have any questions, but just as we were hopping on this call, I got a message from my mom that my sister's son stabbed himself in the leg. He's 4 years old and he's going to go to the ER and get it removed. So if you guys could just be praying. His name's
Oh,
Messiah.
no. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Wait, this is your sister's son?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, no, I'll pray. Let's pray right now for him. What's his name?
Micaiah.
Micaiah. All right, let's pray. Lord, I pray tonight for Micaiah, Lord, and for this accident that he's going through and the pain and the injury, Lord. I pray that you just give him peace and calm and take away the pain that he's experiencing and give the doctor's wisdom. And I pray that you would just help him to heal quickly. I pray that you would give his family peace and a calm, and that you would just use this, Lord, to bring you honor and glory, and that because of this situation, others would just see you and come to know you, and that we would just for his family to remember, like, all things work together for good. I know it's so hard to know that, it's hard to see that during really, really hard times, Lord. But I pray that you would just wrap your arms around his family and give them your comfort and your peace, and especially Micaiah, Lord, help him, Lord, to not be scared, Lord, and to just to heal quickly and know that he's going to be okay. Thank you, Lord, for your goodness to us. Amen.
Thank you.
We'll be praying for you. You're welcome. I'm sorry that happened. All right, you all. Have a wonderful night. Thanks for hopping on, and thank you, Dr. Bed, for recording. We'll see you guys later.